I'm Dr. Mac Adkins, Chief Academic Officer with SmarterServices. Thank you for checking out our poster session titled Achieving a 10% Reduction in Failure Rates in Online Courses Using Non-Cognitive Data. My role in the session today is just introducing our subject matter expert, Dr. Guan-Rackowski. She is the Director of Distance Learning from Middlesex Community College. As you guys can likely tell now, I'm not from Middlesex Community College because that's up north. I'm from Alabama, which is down south. So Yi, I hope I did justice to your name. Of course, she is from China. I'm from Alabama, so I did my best to pronounce her name correctly. Let me ask you a question. If you donated $140 million to your school, do you think they would name a building after you? Well, they should, and I think that they need to name a building after you right now because of the work you are doing with retention. So let me tell you what I mean by that. But first, let's have a little fun. Like I said, I'm from Alabama, and our subject matter expert Yi is from China. So imagine in this fictitious scenario that Yi did donate $140 million to her school, and they named the building after her. Then guess what the name of that building would be? It would be Yi Hall. And folks, for me, from being from Alabama, that's pretty funny. So, what do I mean by would they name a building after you? Consider this. Here is a scenario that I saw presented in a session one time, and I said, wow, that is really something to think about. Because if a wealthy donor donated $140 million to your school, what your school would likely do with that is invest it, and then each year they would draw off interest. They could draw off about 5% interest on that and never have to touch the principal. And if they did that, they would get about $6.7 million per year in interest off of your gift, right? Well, that's worthy of naming Yi Hall after you, right? Well, think about this. With you guys, in the work that you do with retention, if you improved retention by just 1% per year over a 7-year period, the financial impact that that would have on your university is parallel to the financial impact that that large financial donor would make. Here's the way that works. So here's a fictitious university, XYZ University. They have, imagine, 10,000 students. Tuition is about $10,000 a year, just for sake of easy numbers. Well, look at that chart below then. The number of rescued students with just 1%, if they started with a baseline of 60% retention, improves it by 40 students. Over 7 years, that improves to 673 students per year, which is the same additional revenue of that $6.7 million. So, while those of us working in retention may not have buildings named after us, there may not actually be Yi Hall, I think you guys deserve it because the work that we're doing in retention makes a huge financial impact to our institutions. But you know what? There's something even more important than the financial impact that it makes to our schools, and that is the life-changing impact that it makes to each individual student that we help by our efforts to boost retention. So, I'm glad to share with you now the research that Yi did at her institution, Middlesex Community College, and so I will allow her to share those results with you now.
This poster outlines what we have done in using the SmarterMeasure and the benefits that our online students have enjoyed. At Middlesex Community College, we have implemented SmarterMeasure assessment since fall 2008, 12 years ago. Ever since, we have used the SmarterMeasure to help our new online students self-evaluate their readiness in learning online. We have an online orientation website that integrates taking the SmarterMeasure as the first step of the orientation. Our distance learning staff was monitoring the test results, We sent emails to those students with questionable test results and providing them with necessary training or helpful resources. In the early adoption stage, we did a comprehensive study on the relationships between the SmarterMeasure assessment and the student grades for students taking fully online courses. We analyzed a little over 3,000 students, conducted a correlation study, basically looking for the correlation between the SmarterMeasure scores and the students' final grades. The study shows that there is a significant correlation between the personal attributes and the student grades. Subsequently, we integrated our research findings into our training and orientation to online students. We also provided informational training to our potential students who were interested in taking online courses, but still wondering if they could be successful. We asked our students to take the SmarterMeasure and evaluated their test results. During the training and orientation, we emphasized that the score in their personal attributes, including motivation, self-discipline, time management, and personal factors, play a big role in their learning success. We told our students that we can help them with the technology, and we have tutoring service when they need help with reading and comprehension, but it is crucial for them to know that they themselves are the driver of their learning success. Students need to be very motivated, self-disciplined, and are able to manage their time well enough and overcome life obstacles in order to do well and get good grades. By doing that in the orientation and training, we tracked down the failure rates in online students versus ground students. We looked at the percentage of failed students 2 years before we implemented the SmarterMeasure and 2 years after. The results show that after we have implemented the SmarterMeasure, the percentage of failed students in online class has reduced up to 10%. This is a great news for us, and we continue using the SmarterMeasure to help our online students pinpoint to their weak areas and look for ways to overcome the challenges that they might have throughout the journey of online learning.